Terry Bradshaw is the first name that comes to mind when you think of great quarterbacks from the 1970s. He became one of the game's great stars after leading the Pittsburgh Steelers to 4 Super Bowl championships in 6 seasons, and he was an obvious selection to the Pro Bowl Hall of Fame in 1989. However, one could argue that Bradshaw was not even the best quarterback in his division during his era. That honor may go to Ken Anderson, the Cincinnati Bengals legend who threw for nearly 5,000 yards more than Bradshaw during their careers and had an 11-point higher passer rating. Anderson, on the other hand, has yet to receive his call to Canton and will most likely never do so. Anderson, the 1981 NFL MVP, leads our all-time NFL team of non-Hall of Fame players. The lineup is broken down by position. At quarterback, we have Ken Anderson. Overshadowed early in his career by Terry Bradshaw and later by Joe Montana, Anderson put up Hall-worthy numbers: 32,838 career passing yards and 160 touchdowns in a game that was decidedly less passer-friendly than today's game. Bill Walsh invented the West Coast offense as Anderson's coach in Cincinnati made it famous in San Francisco. Anderson led the league in completion percentage 3 times and passing yards twice, and he was named the NFL MVP in 1981 after leading the Bengals to the Super Bowl, where Montana and the 49ers began their destiny. Coming in at number 2, we have quarterback Steve McNair. Fewer quarterbacks in NFL history were as dangerous with their arms and legs as he was. Steve McNair shared MVP honors with Peyton Manning in 2003 and was named to 3 Pro Bowls and nearly led the Titans to a Super Bowl victory in 1999. His career numbers would have been even more impressive if he hadn't been plagued by injuries as a result of his scrambling style of play. Up next at running back, we have Fred Taylor. While Ken Anderson was overshadowed by Terry Bradshaw and Joe Montana, Fred Taylor was overshadowed by Jacksonville's small market. Taylor never won a Super Bowl and did not receive the national attention he deserved. On the field, however, he earned respect. Taylor rushed for 1,000 yards or more in 7 of his 13 seasons and had 11,965 yards total in his career, averaging 4.6 yards per carry. His career rushing yardage total ranks 17th all-time in the NFL. That is more rushing yards in a career than Earl Campbell, Jim Taylor, Larry Csonka, and Terrell Davis. They are all Hall of Famers. Taylor should be as well. Up next, at running back, we have Otis Anderson. Otis Anderson became only the 8th player in NFL history to surpass 10,000 yards rushing in 1990. The 7 rushers ahead of him at the time are all Hall of Famers. The tenacious back gained 1,605 yards as a rookie in 1979 and surpassed 1,000 yards in 5 of his first 6 seasons. He also found new life with the New York Giants late in his career, earning MVP honors in Super Bowl XXV. He had 10,273 rushing yards and 81 touchdowns in his career. Coming at fullback, we have Roger Craig. Craig had an illustrious career that included 3 Super Bowl rings and starred at both fullback and running back. His 3-touchdown performance in Super Bowl XVII was overshadowed by Joe Montana's MVP performance, and the following year he became the first running back in NFL history to gain 1,000 yards both rushing and receiving. Craig gained over 1,000 yards rushing in both of the 49ers Super Bowl championship seasons of 1988 and 1989 after switching to running back later in his career. Craig finished his career with 566 receptions for 4,911 yards, making him the best pass-catching running back in NFL history. Also at fullback, we have Mike Alstott. Mike Alstott was the prototypical short-yardage run-blocking fullback who was a fixture on NFL rosters in the 1990s and 2000s. He was a 3-time first-team All-Pro selection and 6-time Pro Bowler who helped Tampa Bay win its only Super Bowl in 2002, rushing for 4 touchdowns during the Bucs playoff run. Alstott's role as a key cog in the Bucs running game was all the more important to their success because the Bucs rarely fielded strong passing attacks during his career. He finished his career with 5,088 yards and 58 touchdowns on the ground. At wide receiver, we have Harold Jackson. If you had to guess which receiver led the NFL in receptions in the 1970s, Harold Jackson's name would probably not come to mind. However, with 432 catches, he was the league's most prolific receiver during the decade before passing offenses took off as a result of a slew of rule changes. Though he was never considered for the Hall of Fame, Jackson finished his career with 10,372 receiving yards, nearly twice as many as Steelers great Lynn Swann, and 76 touchdowns. Jackson retired in 1983 with the 2nd most receiving yards, 7th most receptions, and 9th most touchdowns in NFL history. Also at wide receiver, we have Cliff Branch. Cliff Branch was also another receiver from the 1970s who was overshadowed by Lynn Swann's Super Bowl acrobatics. Branch was a key component of the Raiders' deep passing game and retired with 3 Super Bowl rings. Branch finished his career as a 3-time first-team All-Pro with 8,685 receiving yards and 67 touchdown catches, 16 more than Swann and 4 more than Swann's Hall of Fame teammate John Stallworth. Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Athlete Power, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.